Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. My name is Catherine. For the new members, kindly hit the subscription button and touch the notification bell so that the next time I go online, you can be able to get an alert. In Catherine's channel, we discuss issues to do with security, violence, terrorism, women, gender, and another pressing issue that is facing the global south in a very unique way that you cannot get in another channel. To my continued supporters and viewers, I highly appreciate your feedback, your suggestions, and your support. Kindly remember to give this video a thumbs up and share it among your platforms. In today's discussion, the focus is on the transiting of women from Kenya to Saudi Arabia to do jobs. I bring this particular discussion as a result of yesterday's news in the mainstream media concerning over 400 women who have been locked up, all held under hostage in a church in Kiambu County. Reason being, they are awaiting to be taken to Saudi. Now, what makes me bring this video, it is the terms or it is the environment within which these women were confined and the complaints that they gave out concerning how they are closed up. Number one, it is a church compound, but this church compound all of a sudden has changed into a hall accommodating women who are to be transited to more of a human slavery like venture in Saudi Arabia. The question is, whether churches are the only places where people can run for help, without churches promotes the value of dignity and of human dignity and the value of the human life. When it reaches a point where a church has offered its hall to be used to forcibly close some women in its premises, awaiting to be transited into another country where we have had cases of our young women dying there, some coming home as corpses, honestly, does it really make sense? What is the current state of the gospel of churches? Is it business? Where exactly is the management of this church, or where are the religious leaders of this church? Having seen the conditions under which those ladies were living in these times of COVID, actually it was not even the same case as how our young girls and our young boys live in boarding schools. That was actually bad. It was a very bad living environment. Secondly, these are over 400 adult women, and you are confining them to a very small space. Even if you are an agency who has been given that legal permit, for example, to do with taking people to Saudi, don't you have then the responsibility to put these young women in a very good environment, even as they await to go and see what awaits them in Saudi? And then next is, some of the ladies who were interviewed were saying when they were brought to that particular premises, they were told that they are going to work as nurses and teachers in Saudi. But the contract they are being given actually reads that they're supposed to work as housemates. Now, we say that our young women are very quick to run to Saudi Arabia. Now, you are a nurse here, for example, in Kenya, you have not secured a job. And then you get an agent who tells you, you will go to Saudi to work as a nurse. You will definitely want to go because you do not know whether your profession is going to be changed from just being a nurse to being somebody's housemaid forcefully, not like you wanted. So this is the same thing that is happening. You promise people that they are going to be teachers, they are going to be nurses, and then you give them a contract indicating that they are going to be housemates. And you know, at this particular point where they are signing their contracts, these young women actually don't have an option, because the agents normally claim that, number one, they have spent their money in processing your travel documents, and number two, they have spent a lot of money training you house management skills and so forth. So even if you say that you don't want to go, they will not release you or release your documents if you don't give them around 30 to 35,000 as a refund of the service they claim they have done unto you. And then finally, it is the aspect of the deity. I saw another lady crying there that you go there in that close up or the hostage hostels. You go there, you are allergic to some meals, or you didn't take some meals, but you are told that they don't have special meals to offer you. My question is, why do you treat human beings as animals? Even animals, we give them what they want to eat, all what they eat. You cannot take a dog's food and give to a cow. The same applies to human beings. You cannot take somebody who is not taking beans, for example, and you want them to force them to eat those beans. So basically what I saw, in as much as we are crying of human slavery in Saudi Arabia, the transiting points, that is the hostage hostels in Kenya actually, where these women are confined to or are closed while they go their 1 month training, it is even more worse, I think, than where they are going. Basically, we start that human slavery from this particular country in terms of where these ladies stay, where they are trained for their skills that they need to work in Saudi Arabia. By the time they go to Saudi Arabia, already they have tested slavery. So before even we start blaming the officers or we blame the bosses in Saudi Arabia, can we start by actually cleaning our house, by holding our agents responsible? If you have a house where you are confining our women, kindly make sure that that place is habitable, that place is actually a place where human beings can live, and treat those young men, the young women, with dignity, with humanity, because by the end of the day, these are not animals. And finally, for the government institutions, for me, it's a thumbs up to the department, to the security department that came in to find out such a thing. It's an indicator that actually the government is working towards doing something. But actually, we need to see more of these exposés, and not only exposés, but also we want to see these agents held responsible. You cannot just close up people without their consent, forcing them simply because you have spent some few thousands on them in the name that you want to transit them to do some jobs that they don't want to do. And those ones who are willingly going to Saudi Arabia, I think it's good you identify the agents that you are going with, see how those ones who have gone before you have been treated by that agent before you sign up to go to Saudi Arabia. Otherwise, dignity and humanity, all of it constitutes to a whole human being. And it is our responsibility to ensure that our girls are safe and all human beings around us are safe, secure, and treated with dignity. Thank you so much.